virtual town hall meeting. We still at our virtual meeting. And we thank everyone for joining us here today on June the 16th. I want to give you a number so you can join us via telephone. That telephone number is 857-799-9641. That's the number where you can call in and join us on Facebook at East Orange City Hall. So again, I'm very honored to join you again with a great panel who really doesn't need an introduction. We've been working together from day one this COVID started. We have with us Dr. Monique Griffin, the director of our Department of Human Health, our health department, sorry about that. Victor Cote, our health officer, and also our director of Recreation Cultural Affairs, Jamal Pearson. So today, listen, we're going to give some updates today. We're going to have Dr. Griffin and Victor talk to all of us the importance of still continuing to stay safe. Now, what we're not trying to do is supersede what the governor and CDC put out in terms of opening up recreational activities, opening up how we sit in restaurants and how we can now go to the beach and be in groups. But we just want to make sure that we, as a city, are aware of, just making sure that we do things in a precautious way and do it in the right way, because still our experts, Dr. Griffin and Victor, would tell you folks are still being affected by this COVID. It's not as prevalent as it was back in March, but people are still getting affected with the COVID, and some people are still being hospitalized. But we know, and that's not to scare anyone. We just want everybody to, stay cautious. So tonight, what I want to do, and again, we thank you for joining us on our virtual town hall meeting. And look, as we continue these meetings, we're going to kind of slow them down for a minute. The summer months are coming in, and at any time that we feel that folks need to have a few updates on what's going on around the city, we're going to ask all of you to continue to follow us on our Facebook page, continue to follow us on Instagram, and we're going to be doing our robocalls around the city. And if information that you need, please call the mayor's office. So again, probably tonight, and I'll talk about it at the end, we're going to slow it down for a minute and let everybody enjoy their summer, but at any time we feel that we need to come and have a conversation, we will be back on with our virtual town hall meeting. So let me start off with our COVID-19 update. As of today, June 16, 2021, we have confirmed 7,157 positive cases here in the city, and 313 confirmed deaths. In our first ward, we have 1,219. In the second ward, we have 1,226. In the third ward, we have 1,384. In the fourth ward, we have 1,389. In the fifth ward, we have 1,490. In Essex County alone, there are 84,726 positive cases and 2,710 resulted in deaths, right? In New Jersey alone, the positive cases are 890,485 and 23,660 resulted in deaths, right? So what do that mean? Let's continue to wear those masks. I know you're about to say, man, what everybody else saying, you don't wear the mask. They're not saying that. You still have to be precautious. Let's continue to wash our hands and don't put your hands in your face. And again, we still have to practice social distance because a lot of people still have not been vaccinated, right? So you'll hear that from Dr. Griffin. You'll hear that from Victor. But although we are giving these numbers out tonight, we are also very happy to know that in the city of East Orange, we got some great programs so that you can be able to enjoy our parks and our outdoor activities. And our director, Mr. Pearson, will really share all those wonderful things that we want our young people, our teenagers, and our adults, and our seniors to be involved in this summer coming up. So again, what I want to do, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Griffin to give her spiel, and then Victor, then we're going to turn everything over to our Director of Recreation, Arts, and Cultural Affairs to give you all the wonderful, 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 wonderful things we're doing in the city of East Orange this summer. Again, Dr. Griffin.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, East Orange. As the Mayor said, you'll continue to hear us talking about the need to be wise when taking advantage of the fact that the world is opening up again. And that's mainly because the virus is still circulating. We have not reached a point where COVID is just not a thing. It's still present, the virus is still circulating, but it is very important to note that it's not as prevalent as it once was. So our goal here within the city of East Orange is to make sure that we're balancing our efforts. And what that means is we're going to still continue to share information about safety and what you need to do and the different precautions that you would need to take, while also making sure that we are providing you with opportunities to be active, providing you with activities and opportunities to be social. But that being said, we within the city of East Orange have been able to vaccinate less than 50% of our population. The exact percentage is about 46% of our population that is currently vaccinated, and we do have additional details as far as who has been vaccinated. But do know that the world is opening, restrictions have been lifted by the governor, and so we do know that you will be able to go into establishments, and Mr. Goutet can talk a little bit more specifically about it, but you'll be able to go into establishments, you'll be able to take part in different activities indoors and outdoors without restriction, but when you do that, keep in mind that the virus is still circulating. Mr. Goutet?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. Just want to follow up on what Dr. Griffith just said concerning restrictions. At this time, a lot of restrictions have been lifted from our businesses. Also, outdoors and indoors restrictions have been lifted. However, if you are unvaccinated, we suggest that you use your mask and you maintain social distancing while you're outdoors and indoors, especially within businesses like retail food stores and other places. Those who are vaccinated are not required to follow this regulation because they are already covered, by the vaccine. So they don't have to put on their mask, but businesses can require that you put on mask and maintain social distancing when you come into their establishment. So don't be surprised if you go into a store and they insist on you maintaining social distancing and putting on mask. So it's part of the regulation that they are given those powers. Also, complete removal of indoor capacity limits for churches has also, and for other areas where people congregate, has also been lifted. But there are a few areas where these restrictions are still in place, and these are the exceptions. Public-facing state offices like motor vehicle, work sites that are close to the public, including warehouses and manufacturing facilities, healthcare settings, correctional facilities, and homeless shelters, transportation, airplanes, buses, trains, childcare facilities, youth camps, summer youth camps, public, private, parochial, preschool programs and their premises, elementary and secondary schools, including charter schools and Renaissance schools. In all these places, restrictions remain in place for special reasons. And also, you're required to, for those living within New Jersey and those traveling from out of state, the Garden State no longer requires a quarantine upon arrival. So this you have to keep in mind. You don't have to quarantine if you come into New Jersey anymore. There are individuals who might be asking questions whether employers can ask for vaccination status. Yes, they could, and they have the right to ask if they want to. Also, employers can require you to get vaccinated except under 2 conditions. If you have disabilities that prevent you from getting vaccinated, or religious exemptions. Those are the 2 conditions under which you may not be asked to produce a vaccination certification. And maybe you can work from home or remotely, will depend on your employer. They may choose that to continue along those lines, and they may decide to revoke it and have you come in person to work.
And Mayor, I would just add that the governor did indicate that employers no longer are mandated or required to offer that remote option. So to Mr. Kate's point, it's up to your employer. So as we're seeing the lifting of restrictions, you're also going to start seeing that transition back to a lot of what we were doing before the pandemic started. Also, Mr. Kate referenced the distinction between vaccinated and unvaccinated, and that's going to apply to the travel requirements and many other things that you'll see occurring not only here within the city, but across the state and also other states as well. So keep in mind that you are fully vaccinated if you've received you're fully vaccinated 2 weeks after you've received that 2-dose regimen if you received Pfizer or Moderna, or 2 weeks after you've received the single-dose regimen of Johnson & Johnson. Before then, you're not considered to be fully vaccinated, you're not considered to be fully protected. So what we've been seeing is that a lot of individuals, even after maybe the first dose, have been traveling and going out, but just know that you're not fully protected even at that point, and there are individuals who have, as a result, tested positive even after receiving that first dose of the vaccine. But the protection is at its highest, and you're considered to be fully vaccinated 2 weeks after the completion of the regimen.
Right. You know what, Dr. Griffin, and since we are on the vaccinations, are there different sites still open here in the city of East Orange where our residents who haven't yet gotten vaccinated, or, you know, the teenagers and the children, where can they go? Because, you know, we need to talk about that we're still trying and hoping folks get vaccinated.
Absolutely. And what I would say is that we are seeing a lot of our young people become more interested in taking advantage of the vaccine. Right now, still, Pfizer is the only vaccine that those who are between the ages of 12 and 17 can take advantage of. So that being said, ShopRite is one of the pharmacies. Multiple pharmacies are offering the vaccines. ShopRite is one of the pharmacies that is offering the Pfizer vaccine that our youth can take advantage of. We will actually be partnering with ShopRite to host a clinic actually tomorrow in front of City Hall between the hours of 4:30 and 8 p.m. For our youth, but we'll also be offering Moderna and Johnson & Johnson for anybody that is interested in those as well. But also East Orange General Hospital is offering vaccines. But again, the vaccines are now more widely available than before. We as a health department, as I said, still have the vaccine and we'll still continue to offer it. We have been based at Campus High, and we've also been moving around the city to make sure that we are as close to our residents as possible and meeting them where they are. So we'll continue to do that, and we may even, moving forward, because we know that there are a lot of brick and mortar locations that are offering the vaccine, become predominantly mobile, where we will be able to go and we'll be able to go to events and set up at events, or go to and work with churches and work with other organizations that do want to host clinics or events. But again, Campus High has been our stationary location, so
Right.
we really can't express enough gratitude actually for to the school district for partnering with us and allowing us to use that space.
And thank you, Faye. Can you give us a percentage of how many folks in East Orange have been vaccinated? What's the percentage of where we at compared to other municipalities of other cities
Sure.
in terms of our numbers?
Sure. The governor reported that we're one of the about 10 municipalities in the state that have vaccinated less than 50% of our population. So the estimated percentage is about 46% of our residents that are currently vaccinated. But when we look at the number of residents who are vaccinated, about 20% of our youth between the ages of 12 and 17 have been completely vaccinated. 35% of our adults who are also eligible are completely vaccinated. 10% of our youth, 12 to 17 again, and 10% of our adults have at least initiated the process. So that means that they've at least received one dose or the first dose of a 2-dose regimen. So we're getting there. It's something that is not a perfect science again, but what we're seeing is that we need to make sure that we're available and the vaccines can still be accessed, because individuals don't make decisions all at the same time, right? So what we've done is we've continued to make the vaccine available so that those at any point, if they change their minds, will be able to take advantage of the opportunity to be vaccinated.
Right, and thank you for that, Dr. Griffith, because, you know, look, our young people are out more now. We starting to see graduations. We as a city are starting to open up, you know, and making sure that, you know, people be able to get a breather, right? But I know that from our health department perspective, that we want to make sure that we do everything we can, you know, and we hope other folks are doing it also, but in the city, we starting to make sure people keep themselves safe. So that's why I always, in the beginning of our opening of our meeting, I constantly tell people, you know, they probably COVID out, you know, they just don't want to hear anything else about it, but we cannot sit on our laurels and let people feel that this thing is just gone, because it's not, and we're just hoping that folks continue to get vaccinated, those who choose to. Mandated, right, when they talked about the mask, I know we talked about it earlier. I just want to give that information out again, how important and the mandated terms that our governor is using in the CDC in terms of the mask. I want people to hear that again, because we're about to open it up with our summer program, and we want people to know why the masks are important and what the government is saying very quickly. I just want people to just come in on and hear that again.
Absolutely. So I'll share a little bit, and then I'll turn it over to Mr. Katay to share a little bit more. But the masking mandate is per the governor, lifted. One of the reasons why you'll continue to hear us speaking about the masking mandate, or at least encouraging it, is because there are certain entities and businesses that may very well tell you that they still are going to require it upon entering their business. And so governmental offices, municipal buildings will require employees, visitors, guests to wear a mask. And many times you'll see that even though the general restriction has been lifted, because the reality is vaccines are not required of everyone, or they're not mandated. So you'll have some who opt to become vaccinated, you'll have others who choose not to. But because the virus is still circulating, the businesses or municipal buildings and offices may very well still require it, because you can't distinguish between who's vaccinated, who's not vaccinated. And so we have to really think about protecting everyone, because even if also you're vaccinated, you can still transfer or transmit the virus to someone else. So we want to make sure that we are being as safe and cautious as possible, of course, within reason. Mr. Katay?
I'm going to address the science part of it. We've talked about the social part, which is the use of the mask and maintaining social distancing. The science of it is that we have 5 variants of COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2 virus, the virus that causes COVID-19 infection. We have at least 5 variants in circulation. And I'm sure a lot of you would have heard that there are those who have been fully vaccinated and that also got COVID after they've been vaccinated, they tested positive. Because these variants still can infect you. Problem is that because you are vaccinated, you may not come down with full-blown COVID. but you can transmit it if you are infected. Also, there's the Delta variant in circulation as well, and that also can cause infection in individuals. So you don't want to you don't want to rest on your oars and think everything is well. You want to protect yourself as much as possible. Use your face mask, maintain social distancing, and if you have any symptoms, please call your office and stay at home. Don't go to school, don't go to work, because you don't know what type of virus or variant you are carrying at that point. Until you get tested and you determine to be safe, I think you should stay at home and maintain social distancing. Having said that, in general, I think it's still worthwhile that we put behind our minds that social distancing, use of the mask, hand washing, use of hand sanitizer, and maintaining respiratory etiquette would stop the transmission of this virus within the community.
And though we're talking about COVID, the reality is that actually applies to multiple respiratory viruses or viruses that can cause respiratory conditions. So when Mr. Kate is talking about if you're sick, stay home because you don't want to transmit either COVID or anything else to anybody else, right? So we have to think a little more broadly. As much as we've been through the pandemic, and we've been through this for a year, we've seen that either masking, practicing social distancing, and also hand washing and respiratory etiquette, all of those things have been helpful in curbing the pandemic and curbing the circulation of the virus. That's still going to be something that really we encourage the residents to adopt as general practice, especially when it comes to hand hygiene and respiratory etiquette and social distancing. Pay attention to those high-risk environments and scenarios and do whatever you need to do to make sure that you're continuing to be safe.
Yes, and continue to take your vitamins. Vitamin C, vitamin D, your zinc, don't stop. That should be a daily routine for all of us to take care of ourselves. Drink that water, all right? Also, don't forget about that black seed oil. All those things we've been doing in March, continue to do them. Please, don't stop. It's important. Honestly, I like to laugh a little bit, but we cannot stop all those things that we thought that we was trying to do, not to catch this COVID and this virus. Continue to stay on that regimen. It is important. Trust me. So look, Dr. Griffin and Victor laid it out. They're going to come back a little later and close out with some important information. But right now, I want to flip to our Recreation and Culture Affairs Director, who is doing some great things. And we are ready for our children, for our seniors, for ourselves, for adults, to be able to have some activities in our community. And I don't say that lightly, in our community. But we're going to do it with some restrictions. We're going to do it in a safe and healthy manner. So I'm going to go right to our director in our recreation department, Jamal Pearson, and I'm going to let him open up. And I thank you for joining us, Director, tonight. I know your office and your division has been on fire with programs in our city. So just really give us a fully update on what you're doing in that department, what great activities that you got for our residents, for our young people, our seniors. I'm feeling good about this, man. And just share with our folks on the meeting tonight what we're doing with all our summer programs, okay? And also share with them the restrictions that you're putting in place, working with our health department to make sure, I'm gonna say that again, to make sure that we stay safe and healthy. And we're asking the parents, follow the rules and regulations, please. Who are you, Mr. Pearson?
Thank you, Mayor, so much. I want to first of all say that I'm very honored and I'm very, very, I feel very privileged, man, to be here on the virtual town hall with you. I've been watching these town halls since last March, and I'm like, okay, when's recreation?
There you go. You got to work hard to get on these things, man.
Listen, I know. So when I got the call, I was like, yes.
Yes, there you go.
Secondly, I want to endorse your spill on the vitamins. Indeed.
Yes.
The D3, the C, the black seed oil, that zinc, drink those herbal teas. You know, everything we've been doing through the winter, do the same thing through the summer, you know, because it's the same regimen, the same protocol we need to follow to keep our immune system boosted up and keep our bodies healthy. And as I always tell my staff, you know, we're recreation. So if you work in recreation, you need to be in shape.
Yeah,
You know,
I know that, man.
inside and internally and externally. So that being said, I want to thank you again for having the Recreation Department to come on and share the programming that we have for the community. You are right. I mean, we have so many things that we have planned. We have so many things that we're going to be doing. And let's start first with our summer camps. You know, we're going to conduct 5 summer camps this year. Less than what we've done in years past, but significantly more than we were able to do last year. So this year we're going to conduct 5 camps. We have Grow and Glow for children aged 3 to 6 in 2 locations. We're going to be in the Elmwood Park Fieldhouse, and we're going to also be at the Raleigh Park Fieldhouse. And we have a fantastic staff back. We have our school teachers back to conduct the Grow and Glow camp. That camp is going to be great. I received the itinerary and the curriculum for that camp. Joy Mills and her staff, her team of instructors have a fantastic program ready for our young people. We have our Autism Camp returning from a year off. That camp is going to be conducted in Hare Park. We went to the park, we looked at the park. The park is in good shape for a camp such as that. We're still working on some things we need to do at the field house over there to get that up to par. But by the time camp rolls around, we should be ready for Autism Camp.
If I may, what's the starting dates for our camp program? When do this camp start?
All of our camps begin on July 6th.
Good.
July 6th, each camp will be 5 weeks long, from July 6th to August 6th. When I get to it, our tennis camp will pick up on August the 13th.
There you go.
For 3 weeks until the end of August. So 5 weeks for the camps are running off now, 3 weeks for our tennis camp this year. So yeah, Autism Camp will be in Hare Park. It's going to be a great camp. That's for kids aged 7 to 15 for autism. The Autism Camp is going to be a specialty camp, meaning the children who are being registered for the Autism Camp are on what I was told on the high end of the spectrum. So that, you know, we're going to carry only about 18 kids in the camp, so that it's manageable for the staff to be outdoors with the young people. We also have our co-ed basketball camp. Our co-ed basketball camp is going to be conducted in the Cicely Tyson High School gym, ages 8 to 15. We're going to carry about 30 to 50 kids in that camp. We originally had it to 20, but when the things started opening up and we had our restrictions lifted a little bit, we decided to go ahead and open it up. We're going to cap it at 50 campers for that particular camp. We have a great staff of coaches, again, prepared for that camp. Excellent counselors I interviewed. By the way, for all of our camp employees, I'm not sure if it's been done before, but I have interviewed, I have 2 more days to go, but I've interviewed literally each and every one of them one-on-one via Zoom interviews, about maybe 15, 20-minute interviews with every potential staff member on every camp. And we have a fantastic core of staff for all these camps this year. I met them all personally one-on-one. We have our Heart Middle Day Camp will be returning this year for kids age 7 to 12. That's going to be from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock. All the camps are 8 to 4 actually, and that's going to be at Hart Middle School. Again, fantastic staff is lined up for that camp. And the tennis camp again is going to start August the 13th for children aged 8 to 15. So we're in full steam ahead with our camps, which I'm happy about because last year we were able to do only 2 camps and those have very minimal children in them.
Right.
So this year we can service more young people and get more parents an opportunity to go to work and not have to worry about their kids during the daytime, but they could be in a safe environment where they're getting some enrichment, some enlightenment, a lot of recreational fun.
Give them the fee also on the camps and the programs we have, because I don't want y'all to think everything's free now. We're trying to help, but there's a cost to what we're doing, so give them that information directly.
Yeah, our fees actually are very, very, very inexpensive, I mean, relatively speaking. But the Grow and Glow camp is $60 per week for our campers. 5-week camp, so it's $10 to register for all the camps. At the Grow and Glow camp, $60 per week. The Autism Camp is $75 per week per camper. Oval Park, the Heart Middle Day Camp would be $60 also weekly. Our co-ed basketball camp is $65 weekly per camper, and also the tennis camp is $65 weekly. For our non-residents, the camp fee is $125 per camper. And those rates and those fees are very, very competitive when you compare to other municipalities and what they offer their young people and parents for a great camp experience. So those are the costs. If you want more information about the camps, please call the Civic Center at 973-414-4141. We started registration earlier this month. Registration is going well. We're almost at the end of our cap for the Heart Middle Day Camp, so you might want to call it as soon as you can to make sure your child has a space in the camp. All the other camps are open except for autism. We're almost at the cap for Autism Camp with our 18 kids also. So parents call, call in and make your registration and fill your spot for your child. As far as the question concerning what would be our precautions for our campers, Dr. Griffith and Victor Cote laid it out perfectly. Yes, things are lifted, but we're going to still follow very, very stringent precautions and restrictions and protocol with our camps. As last year, when the young people come to camp, there will still be temperature checking and logging at their coming to camp. Our staff will be temperature checked and logged for contact tracing at the beginning of every camp, every day that they come. We're going to still, in the campsites, have social distancing setups for the table setups and the chair setups where they're doing table arts and crafts and other things at tables. We will still have a triage area in case a kid does get sick. We don't know if they have a temperature situation due to a COVID infection, but we'll have triage areas for our young people in our camps. We'll contact the health department for further assistance on that. A stringent protocol of sanitizing, hand sanitizing stations, cleaning of the areas that are most commonly used, cleaning of equipment, separate storage bins for all the kids for their equipment, their supplies. We're going to follow all the same protocol that we did last year when COVID was at its peak, because we although we're getting at the end of the tunnel, we're still going through. So we want to make sure that our kids and that our staff are safe. So that's how we're going to do it with our camp this year. We're going to make sure that we follow many of the same protocols as last year. As far as hiring is concerned, we're still hiring for camp staff. We're almost at capacity for what we want to hire for the camps this year. But the main thing that we're hiring for, and if anybody's interested in working with recreation this year, we're hiring for more park staff. We need more park staff to come in and work with our park directors on the activities that we have planned for our parks. And we're also looking for more hiring of drivers. We need more drivers this year, because we won't be taking any trips with our camps and with our park participants outside the city, but we will be moving our teams and our young people around the city to the swimming pools and parks and other activities. So we need drivers, we need more staff for our park staff.
And what number do they call for that, the hiring process?
Yes, please call, if you're interested, please call starting tomorrow. The Civic Center, again, 973-414-4141, so we can get you the application process to you. You can get the fingerprint and background check process done. Then you do an interview with me, the director, and then we get you going once everything is clear. We'd be happy to have you. We definitely need more park and more drivers.
Right, so let's also talk about when our pools are opening up, Director, what is going to be the hours of our pools, because I know that our parents, those who want to give their kids activities and want the kids to get a chance to get out, what are the protocols in terms of when kids go swimming at our swimming pools this year?
Yeah, thank you, man, for that question. We are going to be opening our pools on July 6th, and the pools will be open Monday through Sunday from 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning until 8 o'clock in the evening. The pools are going to be open. The pools are fully staffed. That staff is ready and set to go. Our pool director told me today that there will be pool instruction. We will have very, very stringent also pool protocol with the COVID-19 protocol at our pools. 2 hours a day, every day, the pools will be emptied out, and they will be announced when you come to the pool for sanitizing of common areas and also cleaning of the pool area where people are commonly seated. So that would be done there'll be temperature checks at the pool entrance. Also, that'll be logged, and also there'll be hand sanitizing stations around the pool. Our pools are down to 2 pools for the summer. We're going to be running Elmwood Park Pool and also the pool at Hare Park. And the reason Columbian Park is not going to be open this year is because we are happy to announce really that the Columbian Park is being renovated and restored and renewed. Yes. So we're looking forward to a new park for our Columbian Park next year. So as a result, we have 2 pools this year.
Right. look, we done talked about our young people, we done talked about our teenagers, we're excited about what do we have for our seniors that, to bring our seniors out to enjoy this summer also here in the city.
I was waiting for this.
Yes.
But before I go to the seniors, for the pool badges, you can start coming in to sign up for your pool badges and purchase your pool badges on June 28th. You can come to the Civic Center. We'll be set up and ready for you to get your pool badges.
Give them that address at the Civic Center so they know where to come, and give them a phone number.
Yes.
And a contact person.
So the Civic Center's address is One Fellowship Circle, which is on Greenwood Avenue, right in back of Oval Park. And we're there from 8 in the morning until 7 o'clock in the evening. So come on down and get your pool badges. You can get your pool badges up until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. You can come on through. But as far as our seniors are concerned, happy to announce, and I can't wait for the flyer to come out, but we have a program that we're going to be doing with our seniors, and we're calling it Swim and Fellowship Wednesdays with our seniors.
Wow.
Swim and Fellowship Wednesdays. What that will entail, we are going to be partnering with Manager Rita Butts and the Senior Services Division. And recreation, we're going to take out 25 passenger vehicles. We're going to have registered seniors picked up from where they are. We're going to bring them over to Oval Park, and they're going to receive a 1-hour aerobic swim instruction by our pool staff from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And then after they finish their swim instruction, aerobic swim instruction, to get their bodies moving and get their fitness in the pool, we're going to have them get dressed. We're going to take them over to the blacktop. It's going to be held at Hare Park. Take them to the blacktop, and back in the school we're going to have tents set up with tables and chairs. We're going to give them food. They're going to have play board games, card games. We're going to have coolers out there with nice drinks in it for them. And from 6 to 7, they're going to fellowship and have a good time with each other.
Wow,
we're going to have a speaker out there. We're going to play the oldies but goodies music for them.
Wow, we got my man. Who's your DJ, man? It ain't me, I know that. Well, is Ronnie DJ?
We're going to find a DJ for them. We're going to play the
Get
oldies
Ronnie
and goodies.
DJ, man.
But we're going to have that every Wednesday for 8 weeks, starting July 7th.
Great.
We're going to have a great time with our seniors. We're going to have the staff out there interacting with them, and we're going to have fun at Hare Park. And actually, there's no cost. It'll be free for our seniors.
Wow.
Free registration. You must register, but it will be free. Free transportation, free activities, free pool aerobic instruction.
All right.
That's for our seniors.
Right.
Also for our seniors at Elmwood Park, we're going to be having Senior Fit. It's called Rec Fit, recreational fitness for them for 1 hour from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock at Elmwood Park. Our fitness instructor is going to be on duty there to take our seniors into our fitness room, our fitness area in Oval Park, and teach them how to properly use the equipment and give them a low-impact aerobic workout. That's going to be on every Monday and Wednesday from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock for our seniors.
Wow.
So between the fitness and the fellowship, we're going to have a good time with our seniors this summer.
Great. And listen, I know that my staff is posting all these wonderful things, but again, follow us on our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram. If you have any questions, you got the Recreation, Arts, and Culture telephone number. You can also call the Mayor's Office of Constituent Services. We have the information about where you need to go. But again, share this information with your family, your friends, and let them know that East Orange summer program, safe, healthy for our residents here in the city of East Orange. So listen, man, let's talk about our 4th of July celebration, which we couldn't have last year, and this year being that they open it up, but also talk to folks about we're having it, but with restrictions, man. I think people have to constantly understand that we're having these events with restrictions, man. So talk about the 4th of July event.
Yes, so we're happy to announce, since things are being lifted and we're opening up, that we will be having a 4th of July event this year live, and we have targeted the Robeson Stadium. We've already secured the stadium for our event, and the event is going to be held on July 3rd, Saturday, July 3rd. The doors are going to open to the public at 6:30 p.m., and our program, our show is going to start at 7:30 p.m. The show is going to consist of live entertainment. We have a great entertainment coming in. It's called the Front and Center Band. They do a live 60s, 70s, and 80s and 90s music review, something for everybody. We're going to also have Kenny Bobian on the program, and we're going to have an up-and-coming rapper. Many of you know about him already. Ace the Face will be performing on the show as well. And we're going to definitely give the community a great show. And then at about 8 o'clock, the fireworks display will begin. We have a good fireworks display sized up and ready to go, and we're looking forward to that. But there will be restrictions. Yes, the stadium will be open, but when you come to the stadium, you will be instructed by the attendants at the stadium about seating. You will have to definitely have your face covered to enter the stadium. There will be hand sanitizing stations at the front entrance. We have not decided whether or not, because of the large number of people we're expecting, whether the temperature check, because that can run into some time, but face masks are mandatory to enter to the stadium to enjoy our 4th of July event. And the event originally was not going to be live, but when everything opened up, the mayor desire was to be able to do a live event. So we had to get back to the drawing board and come up with something that we felt that would be very, very entertaining and very much fun for the community. So we're happy to say that it will be live this year. And it's a great advancement from last year, which we had to do virtually. And many of you didn't see the virtual event, but this year we're hoping that we can get many of you out there. Now, it has not been designed into the actual program yet, but we will want to speak with Dr. Griffith and Mr. Cote, because in our planning, we want to, today in our planning, we want to try to somehow coordinate and organize an actual vaccinating and testing event at the 4th of July event on that day. So if we can coordinate that with the health department.
Dr. Griffin gonna be like, look, bro, I'm gonna be at my family cookout. I ain't trying to hit, but she gonna, we live, but I know Dr. Griffin like, look, bro, I don't know about that one this time. But that's a good idea, but I'm telling Dr. Griffin like, look, okay. But listen, I'm glad you kind of cleaned that up when you say you got to talk to Dr. Griffin and Victor, because, they can kind of like, put a little, how you on a football field, and they throw the little flag for penalty. We don't want that to happen, so we're going to be nice to these two over here. But I tell you, Director, we have some great things going here in our city, and we're glad that, and we want folks to enjoy it, but again, we can't enjoy it without everybody's support, everybody's help, everybody doing what they're supposed to do, everybody directing their kids before they leave home, what the significance of keeping these kids safe, the mask, sanitizing, that is so important. I do want to ask you also, there's a program coming up with our seniors, I think in a couple of weeks. Connie just showed me the flyer. I was kind of like confused with the flyer in the beginning, but I'll take that. But there's an event coming up for our seniors at Sawwood Park. What is happening with that?
Yeah, I saw the flyer for the first time too.
Oh, did you?
So I'm going to give you the overview that I know is going to be going on. It's called Sun and Buns.
Yeah.
Sun's out, buns out.
So listen, these stores don't get crazy now, all right?
Yeah, because that name is kind of,
Yeah, it's only because it's hamburgers now,
buns,
though. Go telling people, the mayor talking about everybody gonna come out, sun's out, buns out. No, hamburgers, all right? Because I know what folks do. What the mayor doing around here talking about sun's out, buns out? No, we ain't doing that. But let's talk about that for a minute, man, with our seniors.
It's another event where the seniors are going to be invited out to Sawwood Park from 11 o'clock until 6 o'clock, I believe it is. And it's going to be a cookout and barbecue for the seniors. Hot dogs, hamburgers, and other things given to them. And also there'll be tables and tents set up. Again, board games, card games, events for them. And I know that it's not recreation, we will be there, but I believe our city council is spearheading this particular event for our seniors. But I will be there, staff, certain parts of my staff will be there. My park director for Sawwood Park and his staff will be there. And I believe this is the first event for our seniors for the summer. Sun out, buns out. So I'm interested to see how it's going to look myself.
Yeah, man. I've talked to some of these seniors, man. We got make sure they, do right. But listen, with that, guys, look, we're going to go to our phone calls who came in. I know that there were quite a few people that joined us this evening who have some questions. So I'm going to go to Connie and ask Connie to, give us some of the folks who are calling in and some of their concerns or some of their questions right quick.
Okay, Colette Washington says the summer is approaching and people are shooting off fireworks, which I can attest to because I hear them too at night. And she's like, they're not firecrackers, but they're flares. So that's just a note to...
Right. We're very concerned with that. We're very concerned with these firecrackers. We're very concerned with folks 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I can tell you our police department has been doing a fantastic job. But as the community, we need you to be our eyes and ears. And listen, if you know any of these folks who are doing those activities, let them know that if they're not an expert, it can be dangerous to themselves. It can be dangerous to the neighbors that's near them, because sometimes these fireworks can go up, land on somebody's roof. Those fireworks can cause a fire, and also it can cause an explosion in your hand or go up a certain way and hit somebody nearby. So we're asking all of you to be respectful, be responsible, and wait till we have the fireworks on the 4th of July. We don't need to have folks in our community who are trying to rest and trying to do the right thing out here shooting off firecrackers. So we are very aware of it. Our police chief is setting up the task force, and we let you know, we catch you out there with these firecrackers, we are going to penalize you with a fine. So just be aware of your actions, okay? Go ahead, Karen.
Geraldine Smith would like to know how East Orange is faring with the virus. Are we up or down? So maybe Dr. Griffith or Mr.
She talked about that earlier. Go ahead, Dr. Griffith.
That, I guess the pattern, you know, how it's maybe shifting downward. We know that, right?
You want to speak about that, Mr. Okay. We are seeing a decline in the circulation of the virus. If you recall, I don't know if the question came from somebody that was a part of our town hall a couple of weeks ago. But what I did mention at that time was that six new positive cases was the average, the daily average, whereas now it seems as though we're around 3. So hopefully that creates a picture of the fact that we are, the number of positive cases are decreasing within the city, but it's still circulating. You know, every now and then we will see that number increase, but on average we're seeing a decline. So the number of positive cases within the city that the mayor reported is still, again, that cumulative number. It's the number of total positive cases that we have experienced here within the city since March, since the pandemic began, but we are seeing an improvement.
Right, and I think at the height of the pandemic, we were maybe
it was
30, you know,
digits,
a day,
yeah.
So just so people have context.
Yes.
So now we're down to 3. So
now we're down to 3.
There's definitely a decrease.
With intermittent, you know, reports of
right.
COVID-related hospitalizations and or deaths.
Right. I just want to kind of piggyback off a concern that someone had about the response time to for our police department. If you feel that it's taking an hour, 2 hours to respond, please call my office, 973-266-5151. Please let me know. That is unacceptable to make a call to our police department if it's true and they're not responding in a reasonable time. That's unacceptable. But I know for a fact that our chief and our captains and those men and women have been working hard. But again, if that's happening, I need to know about it. The chief needs to know about it so we can make sure it doesn't happen. So please call my office.
Okay. Betsy Lynn London would like to know, where can she take her children to get tested?
If you'd like, you can come out tomorrow because we are having a clinic. It's a vaccination clinic, but we will be offering testing as well. So we'll be doing both. So your children, your children, really any resident is more than welcome to come tomorrow. But also know that East Orange General is still offering testing on a regular basis. And many of our pharmacies, as well as I believe NCHC, are still offering COVID testing as well. In
Right.
Dr. Salerno's office, which many individuals also go to still for testing.
Right, and there's an urgent care facility that just
And the urgent
opened
care,
on
yes.
Freeway Drive across from the municipal court. I'm not sure the exact address, but I saw signs that say they offer rapid testing.
Yes.
So if people are interested.
And also, just for context, I did reference our event tomorrow, but I'll provide more information. It is Grateful for the Shot clinic, vaccination clinic, that will be occurring right in front of City Hall from 4:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Again, we'll be partnering with ShopRite and New Vision Baptist Church, offering the Pfizer vaccine. ShopRite will be administering the Pfizer vaccine, and the health department will still have Moderna and J&J on hand for anybody that's interested in either one of those vaccines. And again, testing will be offered that day as well.
Okay. D. Walker would like to know, how long does the vaccine last?
I'll turn that over to Mr. Kate to respond.
I'm trying to figure out how to answer that question, whether it's the expiry date or...
You can speak about the boosters.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, well, after the first vaccination, for Pfizer, the second dose should come 21 days after. For Moderna, the second dose comes 28 days after the first dose. For J&J, there's just one dose and you're done with it.
And there is conversation, it hasn't been confirmed yet, that there may be a need for a booster. So within 6 months or possibly more. They have not, whether it's the CDC or other entities, have not made a final ruling on that. So that is something that we'll continue to provide an update to our residents on.
Hey, Dr. Griffin, we have Ms. Florence Jeter, who has a 12-year-old and a 16-year-old granddaughter and grandson. She wants to bring both of them to get vaccinated tomorrow. Can she come?
Yes.
What does she come to?
So what I will say, for anyone who's bringing or who has a minor that is interested in being vaccinated, they need to be accompanied by a parent or a guardian, because there are still consent forms that have to be completed, and the minor can't fill that out themselves. They should also bring a copy of their insurance card if they have insurance, because, as you've heard us say, there are organizations that will bill administrative fees to insurance, but it is not going to cost you anything to be vaccinated. So if there's anybody that wants to bring a minor to the front of City Hall tomorrow between the hours of 4:30 and 8 p.m., certainly do so. But again, there are consent forms that need to be completed. If there are any grandparents that have custody currently and the parent cannot come, just call the health department tomorrow. We open at 8:30, but you can call us because we do have copies of the consent forms that might be needed. So if a parent can't, in fact, accompany the minor, we don't want to create any obstacles that would prevent the minors from being vaccinated, but we can provide you with the forms and the documents that they would need to bring with them, or you would bring with them to ensure that that process flows smoothly.
Thank you, Dr. Griffin. And Ms. Jeter, I hope that information helped you. Again, what Dr. Griffin gave you. Any more, Connie? Any more questions?
Yes, we have a couple more.
Okay.
Siobhan Hunter, this one is for Mr. Pearson. Siobhan Hunter would like to know if the Recreation Department accepts program for parents.
To my knowledge, no, we do not. I have not received any registration information for programs for parents since I've been there as director, and so we do not.
But Ms. Hunter will find out, for sure to see if
Right.
how that may work, and then I'll respond to you.
Yes.
on Facebook.
So programs for parents, the way that it works, we may be able to use programs for parents. We just never have not had any registrations.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But
So
it's a
what is the
possibility that we may be able
Yeah,
to provide.
normally what they do is, once they find out what the program is,
Yeah.
they cut a check to that program for those, for that individual, those kids, directly to the program. So, we want to make sure our kids are.
So we can have the parent call 973-414-4141 tomorrow and speak to me directly, and I'll research it and I'll give her specific instructions of what
So
to
make
do.
sure you post that number.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take care of it tomorrow.
And Karen Booth just wants to let you know that behind 777 Springdale Avenue in Orange, there's a neighbor playing loud music up to 1 a.m. every weekend.
All right, well, we'll do, we'll make sure that our chief, Bendy, and also Tony Jackson, who was my chief of staff, he'll make sure that we take note of that information that you just provided, and we'll make sure that both police departments are aware of it. But if it's in Orange, we'll make sure that the chief contact the director, Todd Warren, up in Orange, to make sure that we kind of bring some relief to the loud music. There is a city ordinance in both cities in terms of loud music, and we do ask people to respect each other at a certain time of the evening. We all should know to, to bring the music down after a certain time. I think it's 10 o'clock. You have to bring the music at a certain level that, everybody don't need to hear it, all right? But we'll look into that.
Okay. Mayor, I know you may refer to this later on, but Geraldine Smith would like to know what activities are occurring on June 19th in the city.
So listen, everybody know that if you look across the nation, different municipalities are now celebrating Juneteenth. You got events going on all over, right? So this Saturday, here in the city of East Orange, we adopted our city ordinance along with the East Orange City Council to celebrate, and it's a holiday here in the city of East Orange. This Friday is a legal holiday for our city. People will be off celebrating Juneteenth. We have an event this Saturday at 1 p.m. in front of City Hall. And we're going to be doing our flag raising. We got the NAACP that's going to be joining us. We got some guest speakers. We got music. So please come out and celebrate Juneteenth. I think it's so really just special for different municipalities, that are engaging in celebrating the freedom of so many African American men and women, and it speaks volumes of who we are to show our loyalty and also our commitment in making sure that those folks who have paved the way for all of us to be where we at, to show our gratitude. So please come on out, 1 p.m. in front of City Hall, Juneteenth.
And that program will feature Dr. Leonard Jeffries,
Yeah,
who's a
Mr. Leonard
noted
Jeffries, you're right.
historian, a Pan-African educator.
Right.
So we're excited. That's it, Mayor.
All right, so listen, we've been at this a long time. I thank all of you for coming on, and I'm hoping that each and every week, that we came on for our town hall virtual meetings, that we was able to really just have a conversation with our residents, right? And thank you for having a conversation with us, but more so thanking you for entrusting in this administration and this East Orange City Council for, a minute, during this COVID. We thank everyone who came on and provided information to you. And again, as I said earlier, what we want to do is we're going to kind of like close out, but not really close down. We'll be coming back. The summer months are approaching upon us. It's right here. And many of us who have been on these panels, we've been doing it a long time, and I'm really appreciative to everyone, my staff, my health department, the administration, our directors, our managers, and those guests that we brought on. So tonight, what I want to do, I just want to close out with some updates on what things that we're having. And you really heard of most of the things that we have been doing. And then I'm going to ask my panel tonight to give some closeout remarks, and then we're going to kind of shut down for maybe a week or 2 weeks, allow folks to just start to really just symbol and what they're doing in their lives. But what we want to do is ask you to still stay in contact with us through our Zoom, through our Facebook, through on our website, you know, just follow us, call the office and the numbers that we provided tonight. You know, call those numbers. We're here for you. So listen, you know, we having our LGBTQIA flag raising ceremony, which is going to take place on June the 25th at 5 p.m. right in front of City Hall. We have our guest, Teresa Sparkle, and Rudolph, and DJ Mike Q. So those who want to celebrate with us here in the City of Orange with our flag raising, please come on out at 5 p.m. on June the 5th. We got movie night in our city. Please look for those dates with our Department of Recreation and Culture Affairs. The mayor's having one, the council's having one throughout the city. So look for those dates, and coming up soon, right at, what park is this going to be at? At Raleigh Park at 8 p.m. on Friday, June the 25th. We're showing the movie Shirt 2 at the event, again at what is that? Raleigh Park. I don't know what I said. So look, we got a lot of things going on. Movie night. Please join us and look at the different things that the council and mayor and our recreation we're doing throughout the city. Our food distribution, everyone, is still going on. We shipped it from our senior service building down to the Fellowship Civic Center on Glenwood Avenue. You know, we got fresh product and non-perishable items every Wednesday and Friday starting at 9 a.m. until the supplies run out or last. All right, so again, call the Department of Recreation and Cultural Affairs at 973-414-4141. Also, Jamal talked about the summer camps. We talked about our senior barbecue. I do want to continue to let folks know that we still have money. We still have money for our rental assistant program. We want to help during this COVID. So many people was affected by losing jobs. So many people was affected by wasn't able to go to work, and we look to you know, a way to pay your rent. We still have money for those who have been affected by COVID to help you out with your rent. We don't want anyone to be put out of their apartments or their homes, all right? So with that, thank all of you. I'm going to start with Dr. Griffin, then Victor, then Director Pearson, and then we're going to close out and allow folks to really just take a deep breath and enjoy part of their summer. So Dr. Griffin?
Yes. Again, just to echo the mayor's sentiments, thank you, to all of the residents for hanging in there for 1+ years as we, certainly communicated about the pandemic, shared information. Where we are at this point again is where we wanted to be, and we're looking forward to being in this particular position. And so where we are now, certainly continue to be safe, certainly continue to maintain your awareness of safety protocols, the environments and the spaces that you're in, because it is important to remember that while we are moving in the right direction and we are closer to where we were or where we wanted to be, you still need to be mindful of the fact that the virus is still circulating to some degree. But also, I have to give credit to our Division of Senior Services, because under the leadership of Rita Butch, they have really been trying to do everything that they can for our seniors to make sure that they remain engaged. So they too are very excited about the Suns Out, Buns Out senior barbecue, which they really were putting together. We'll be there as well, offering vaccines, specifically the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. We'll also be present at the LGBTQIA flag raising, offering vaccines. And we'll certainly have to consider July 4th. I can't speak to that yet. I have to talk to the staff. But we will be wherever we can be, obviously within reason, to make sure that we continue to provide the residents with access to the vaccines. But in the meantime, focus on your immunity, focus on remaining safe, and enjoy the summer. We've really been looking forward to it, and things are opening up, so do so safely. Enjoy it safely.
Great.
In closing, I just want to say that I implore our residents to please, if you are unvaccinated, please go get vaccinated. If you are unvaccinated, please keep your mask on and maintain social distancing. If you are vaccinated and you have cold, you can still put on your mask, to protect others, because we don't know what you have. Also, we are still giving vaccines to homebound residents. If you have any family member or relations or friends who are homebound, please call the health department, 973-266-5480, and have them registered. And as we may not come out the same day or at the same time, but usually we like to maintain a number of like 5 or 10, and that would help for us to use a whole vial of the vaccine, and that would help. So as soon as we ready, we'll definitely come out and contact your family members and vaccinate them. Also, I just want to say finally that it's very, very important for us to ensure that in the different stores that we might be going into, we might find different regulations. Please do not think that this is directed at you or anyone else. It's just that some stores would require you to put on your mask and maintain social distancing, others may not. But please, let's work together and keep our community healthy.
Thank you, Victor. We definitely appreciate both of you. But before I go over to our director, I just forgot to make another announcement. Our Father's Day essay contest. I'm going to say that again. Our Father's Day essay contest. It's the Mayor's Father's Day essay contest for children in grades 3 to 8. Those who are entering are asked to describe why they love their fathers or father figure in a one-page essay. The grand prize winner will receive $100 cash. The second prize would be $50, and the third prize would be $25. So you still have time, young people. You still have time to honor our fathers in this community, those who are doing some great things. Tell us why you are so proud of your dad or your father figure in the city of East Orange. And to send your information in, you can send it to Donyale, that's DONYALE, at Harris, HARRIS, at eastorange-nj.gov. Send your essays to Danielle. You got time. You got to all the way to Friday, 12 noon, 12:01. Send that essay in. And parents, help them, but don't help them in writing it. Just help them get those essays in the Mayor's Father's Day contest, essay contest, okay? So, Mr. Jamal Pearson, take the floor, man.
Thank you, Mayor. Once again, I want to thank you for the invitation to come onto the town hall this evening. I had a fantastic time and this opportunity to share with the community some of the things that we're doing in recreation for the city this year. We have a plethora of activities, both recreationally and culturally, that we have planned and that we have already started. And all the information is always posted on the city's social media. You can also go to the Recreation Department's Facebook page. You can call the Civic Center at 973-414-4141 and ask about any programming that we have this year. We have a great deal that we're doing. We want to see everybody out in the parks this year. Our park directors and staff are ready to give great activities, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the residents in the park. You will see me out there. So come on out and enjoy the sun, enjoy the fun, and let's have a good time this summer. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pearson. Hey, East Orange, listen, I saw somebody just post that we should continue our virtual town hall meetings. We never said we're stopping them. We just said we're going to take a pause for a few minutes, but we're never going to stop giving information out to our constituents. Let me just close with this. Thank all of you who have been coming on Thank all of you for getting out there on June the 8th to vote. We appreciate you. We thank all of you for always coming on, sharing the information that we have shared with you. But again, as we close out tonight, we're still going to continue to ask all of you to continue to be our eyes and ears and be a part of this community. Share your ideas, share your thoughts. Be a part of us moving this great city we call East Orange forward. We are one city, we are one community, we have one goal. That goal is progress. I want all of you to know that you're part of that progress. So until next time, East Orange, keep that East Orange pride, and may God bless you, may God bless your families, and may God bless the city of East Orange. We love you guys, and we'll see you very soon. I forgot to say Happy Father's Day.
Well,
Say it.
Still,